So I wanted to do the world a favor and show you how to actually change the links on this bracelet. I found a few descriptions online, but until you do it yourself, it's kind of weird and confusing and doesn't work like any other bracelet. I think it's actually a very close to the original design, how it functions, because it's a strange bracelet design. As you see, the pieces sort of, they hinge underneath, so there's no kind of connecting bits that are obviously there. So the way it works is there are actually little hinge pieces in here, and then the parts you need to remove are these flat discs that are in this kind of folded steel link. And as you can see, those flat discs also make up the surface that's under there. So it's a very complicated design actually, but it's not the simplest thing to work on. So what you have here, like I said, you have folded areas, you have a flat disc inside, and then you have little hinges here and here. And what you need to do is push this disc out the correct way, and then you'll have to do it on multiple links so that you can remove these hinges and thus take apart the actual bracelet. It's not the easiest thing to do. It takes some trial and error, and it takes like a little bit more, you have to be a little more aggressive than you might want to be with a bracelet. What you need to do this is something to push with, something small but strong. So here I have one of our Moody tool screwdrivers here, but it's a very small tip. You can use a strap changing tool, etc. Just something that you're not going to break or bend. And then you'll also need a pair of needle nose pliers to pull the actual pieces out after. And then to get them back in, you might use a soft-sided hammer, or you could probably just push them in with something. So yeah, now I'm going to show you exactly what to do. Okay, so to actually pull these pieces out, you'll see when you get really up close that on the kind of open side of each link, there's a little dip in there, a little cavity, and a little ball. And your goal is to get the ball through the folded piece there, and that kind of dislodges the link. Some things that can get in your way is if the folded link is over-folded, which I had on a couple pieces, you won't be able to push it through because there's just too much pressure. It is also admittedly easier when you're on the bracelet rather than a small piece because you have a little bit more leverage, but I'm just doing this on the links I removed because they're already out. So put the tool you're using into that hole and push. As you can see, it is not that easy to do. Okay, it popped out, and that's about as far as it's going to go. So now what you would do is take your pliers and pull it out the rest of the way. What this now basically lets you do is have access to these hinges. So if I wanted to split, and this is where it gets a little annoying actually, is that's not enough just to remove this link and be on your way. So you can, to get the actual pieces apart, you then slide the little hinge, you have to turn it 90 degrees, slide it, and pop it out through that opening there. It is very convoluted, as you might imagine. But now to actually remove that link, you need to remove the hinge itself from one of the other sides. Okay, so once you get two or more of the flat pieces out, then you can actually both remove a link and remove its associated hinge. So as you can see here, I have two out. So you just, I know it's going to be hard to see, but you take the pieces off, all right? And then you need to remove the little hinge piece here, which is easy. It just kind of slides out, but it's kind of small, okay? And then you can put the other side back in. So now I've successfully removed a single link. And then you have to slide that little metal sheet back inside of that part. Make sure the correct side is up, so the ball side is still up, and then you need to just get that down in there. This is the part where a little hammer with a plastic tip would be good. Might be able to push it in with just the end here. Yeah. So yeah, the reason to use something soft obviously is just so you don't scratch or damage anything. As you can see, this process is not simple. It's not that easy. There is some risk of scratching things. So my biggest suggestion here is just be patient. The one thing to note though is that getting those things out, it might feel like it's not going, but you just got to give it a little elbow grease.